All right. So yeah, we're going to be going over how to find trades, Forex trades on MetaTrader 4 using our Liberty scanner. Most likely we'll be using simple scalper because scalping means that you're in and out with the bag, whether that's 1 minute or 15 minutes. So if you do have time, you can apply the same hour. And while you're on your HFX session, you really can be putting money in your Forex trades as well. So that's what this is going to be about. So for this particular training today, you do not need pocket option. You do not need your HFX broker. You do not need pocket option, race option via Forex because these trades will be for your MetaTrader 4 app. So if you have MetaTrader 4 downloaded and you have a demo or a live account, if you only have a live account, drop a 1. If you only have a demo, drop a 2. And if you have both, drop 3. So 1 for a live account, 2 for a demo account, 3 for both. All right, so most people have both, which is pretty good. Okay, we have live demo. So most people have 2, okay, which isn't bad at all. So for this training, everybody, please go to your MetaTrader 4 demo. And then once you have gotten to your MetaTrader 4 demo, let me do this as well. Once you have your demo account open on MetaTrader 4, please do not use your live account for this. Drop a 777 in the chat so we can get started. This is not for HFX because I know somebody's going to ask and it's no, 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 no. Okay, cool. So guys, make sure you just have your notebooks out. If you do have any questions, feel free to ask, but I am going to explain everything pretty thoroughly. So I'm sharing my screen. And when you can see my screen, just drop a yes in the chat. Where's the chat? Okay. Okay, awesome. And if at any point in time I start breaking up, you guys can just drop a 444 in the chat so I can know to slow down or start over what I was saying. So the first things first, we're going to do the same thing that we usually do, but instead of plugging these trade ideas into pocket option, we're going to be plugging them into MetaTrader 4 once they actually come up. So again, we just want to log into for today, we're going to log into our GoLiberty scanner with our same login that we would use if we was about to do a Forex trade, an HFX trade, because it's really the same market. How we're trading is just a little bit different, right? Because HFX is by time, right? You want to make your money before the time runs out. Forex is by distance. So instead of saying I need the market to clear 1 point above my entry, you want the market to move at least 10 points in whichever direction you're going for. So that's why we'll have TPs versus cleared. Because let's just say we get into the market at 100 for a buy. Instead of saying that as long as the market closes at 101 within a minute, I clear, we're going to say, okay, the market is at 100. I know the market is on an uptrend. I know that it's going to go up to 110. So when it gets to 110, take me out in profit, right? That's the difference. Regular Forex is by distance. HFX is by time. So you can't ask yourself, because I hear these questions a lot, like, how long do I stay in the trade when it comes to Forex? But you stay in the trade until it hits TP or until it hits SL. When you're getting into, these are some tips and tricks. When you're getting into MT4 trades, don't watch the trade, trust the trade, right? Because you're not going to hit your TP, which means that you're not going to take your profit in 1 minute. You're not going to take your profit in 10 minutes. You're not going to take your profit in 15 minutes, depending on how fast the market is moving, right? It could be up to an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, or even a day. I've been in some Forex trades since January 1st. But that's the beauty of it. It just keeps going up. And it's really the epitome of multiplying your money. So anyway, you're going to come to Forex Factory just like you typically would for HFX, and you're going to see what's going on. So the time is 10:23, which is around 10:30, right? I see an orange folder for USD. I see an orange folder for GBP, right? And then a little bit later, I see a red folder for NZD. So I'm just going to disregard that, and I'm just going to pay attention to what's happening now. So I know that even if I did want to get into USD GBP, I might just want to use a little bit of caution, or I just want to avoid those pairs altogether, right? Because if you see a red folder, that means that you want to avoid the pair. If you see a orange folder, that means you want to lower your risk. And if you see a yellow folder, that means you're good to go. So red, I'm just going to write this in the chat. Red, avoid. Orange, And I'm gonna post this in the money mantra as well. Lower risk. Yellow or no folder is good to go. Yellow or no folder is good. And a gray folder typically means there's a bank holiday, so you won't be able to trade that pair. No trading, right? So you guys can copy and paste that as well. So we checked out this and we see, okay, what's going on. Now we know we can pretty much trade anything except for USD and GBP. So what we're going to do once we log into our Liberty scanner, the cool thing about this scanner and every scanner at IM Academy is that it literally scans the market for you. So the first thing you want to do when you log into your Liberty scanner after you check the news is on your right panel, directly under the Go Live button, you want to change it to M15, right? Because we're still going to be in and out with the bag, but we're not going to be in and out with 1 minute. We are going to be analyzing the chart per every 15 minutes. So just like when we're doing HFX and each one of these candles is forming 1 minute, every 1 minute because we're doing M1, or if it's forming every 5 minutes, if we're looking at the regular Liberty scanner pickpocket, now we're just going to kind of widen our scope so that these candles are forming every 15 minutes, which means that it's having a little bit more time to develop and do whatever it's going to do. So the first thing we want to do is we want to change our alert panel to M15. So whether you guys are following along or writing this down, that's the first step. Log in, check the news, check your alert panel, change it to M15. Now, the cool thing about the alert panel is it'll literally tell you, oh, wow, they updated this. This is crazy. It'll pretty much tell you, these will give you some trade ideas. So it says that, okay, on the M15, 10 minutes ago, GBP CAD was scanned for a sell, right? Now, the alert panel is helpful when you can like match up with the time that it actually was updated. But if not, you can just disregard the alert panel and you can start to actually focus on your trade. So let's just say we were going to be looking at, the payout doesn't matter because it's not HFX, but let's just say we're going to be looking at Euro USD. That's just my favorite pair ever, right? You're going to type in the pair that you're looking for, Euro USD, and you're going to select M15. Now, the strategy that we're actually, you can use any of these strategies since they're on the 15, but the strategy that we're going to be using today is going to be the simple scalper strategy. Simple scalper, the original, not 2.0. So you just want to do the same thing. Select your pair, select your strategy, put it on M15. Make sure we're on Euro USD. M15. Ooh, this is ugly. But this is how Forex works, and I'm just gonna pretty much walk you guys through it. So the same indicators that you're using, because when you're trading HFX, you're scalping. You're literally scalping, which means that I'm not going to be in this trade for more than 15 minutes. Scalping is like you're literally in and out with the bag, right? So that's why we can actually translate and use simple scalper for long-term Forex trades as well. We just put it on a higher time frame, and we'll be looking for the same confirmations. So let me just go to something in the past to give you guys an example of what a buy or sell would look like. Can you guys not draw on the screen? So pretty much I'm going to be using this example right here. Like, let's just say we came into the market right here, right? I'm going to give you guys first the confirmations for a buy. Then I'm going to give you guys the confirmations for a sell, just so you can spot what it actually looks like. And then when it's happening in real time, you'll know exactly what you should do. Now, before I do that, the time frame is super important because I think this is where a lot of people actually get confused at. So when we're doing Forex trades, we never just want to get into a trade at a random time. We always want to wait until a new candle has formed, right? When you're doing Forex trades, you always want to wait until it's time for a new candle to form. So if I'm analyzing my chart on the 15 minute, right? Yeah, this is for MetaTrader 4. If I'm analyzing my chart on the 15 minute and the time is currently 10:28 right now, that's the real time, right? What time is my next candle going to form? And you guys can just drop it in the chat and make sure you're sharing it with the group and not just me. Okay, 10:30, 10:30, 11, 10:15, 10:30. Okay, so the correct answer would be 10:30. The correct answer would be 10:30, right? Because if you're analyzing something on a 15-minute chart, if you're analyzing something on a 15-minute chart, a new candle is always going to form at the top of the next 15-minute, right? No matter what time it is. So if the time was 10:17, 10:19, whatever the next 15-minute increment is, that's when a new candle is going to form, right? So it's only 10:29, which means that the next candle will form at 10:30, which means that the next candle after that will form at 10:45, which means that the next candle after that will form at 11. The next candle after that will be 11:15, and so on and so forth. And this style of trading is still for scalpers, people who want to be in and out with the bag, because you can actually, I don't know, like if you're analyzing it per 15-minute, like every candle, like you'll have a chance to actually catch some pips, and I'll go over like what that means as well. So yeah, it'll be every 15 minutes. Now, this is another question, just so you guys can understand how the timing, the formation of the candles work, and when do you get into the trade, because that's confuses a lot of people. They don't know when to get in. Do I get in on the current candle? Do I get in on the next candle? When you're trading Forex, you're going to get in on the next candle at the next time frame that you're analyzing. So if we did our analysis and it was 10:30 and we had the confirmations at 10:30, we would have gotten in for either our buy or our sell, right? If we were analyzing this on an hour, right, family, if we were analyzing this on an hour and the time is currently 10:31, what time can I get into my next trade if we're analyzing on an hour? Because there's different time frame. You can do 15, 30, 11 o'clock exactly. Right. Nope, Ashanti, if you were analyzing on the 4 hour, it would be 12, right? Because it does 12, 4, 8, 12. So 11 o'clock is right. 11 o'clock is right. So I'm gonna just give you guys just one more example. Okay, the time is 10:31. We're gonna continue to analyze this on the 15. What time is our next candle and how long do we have until it forms? Yep, exactly, family, right? Exactly. We have about, and the cool thing that I like about this is if you come here, right, everybody should do this, click the, which is, you, it says I'm breaking up, family. Let me know if I'm still breaking up. Drop 444 if I'm good. Drop a 111. All right, you guys said I'm good, so I'm going to continue. So pretty much how you want to know how long until the next candle forms, no matter which time frame you're using, you want to click, it's next to this cloud, right? I love this cloud. This is your strategies cloud. You want to click the settings gear, right? The chart properties. You want to click scales. And you want to click countdown to bar close. You want to make sure that that is on, because that's going to be able to tell you how long you have to analyze the market before your next candle forms, right? So it's going to be chart properties, scales, countdown to bar close, right? Because then we can literally see right here in 11 minutes and 53 seconds, that's when our next candle is going to form. So that doesn't tell us we're going to get into a trade right now. That makes no sense at all. That tells us that in the next 11 minutes and 45 seconds, we're going to get into a trade if we still have all the confirmations, right? So that's important to note. So we're looking at Euro USD. Now the confirmations for a simple scalper go as follow, right? We have the Bollinger Bands, right? Which is these three lines, the thick red line, the thick blue line, the middle line. That's one indicator. We got the volume bars, which can either show a red bar telling you that the sellers have power, or it can show a blue bar telling you that the buyers have power. You got two indicators down here that are pretty much twins, right? They need to be doing the same thing in order for you to count that as a confirmation. So far, it looks like we have a blue candle telling us that the market is going to buy, because it can either do two things. It can be a blue candle for a buy, or it can be a red candle for a sell. So we see the blue candle for the buy. That's one confirmation. We see that the blue candle is forming above our blue line. That's a good thing. That's a second confirmation. That's telling you that, as we can see previously, the sellers, right, got the price to go all the way from up here to go down. Price continued to go down, right? Then it started to push outside of our support zone. And naturally, the market is always going to readjust itself. I always say, think about the candles and the Bollinger Bands as the candles are cars, right? The space in between is the road, and then the blue and red line is the shoulder of the road. Whenever a car starts to drift on the side of the road, they're going to readjust themselves to be back in the middle. So I like to just do a little example. So we see that the buyers, right, even right here, the sellers, if you guys see on my screen, the sellers were getting the price because it's a red candle. The sellers were getting the price to drop, right? It's a downward slant, drop, drop, drop. But then they couldn't get the price to go any lower than this, right? So it had to auto adjust, and then the buyers were able to push the price up, up, right? The sellers tried to bring it down a little bit. That's a little bit of resistance, right? And then it continued to go up. But then the buyers got exhausted again, right? And they had to readjust and bring the price down. So that's where we're at right now. We can see that the sellers were getting the price to go lower, but it had to auto adjust. And now the buyers are in control, right? Pushing the price back up. So confirmation number one for a buy will be the blue candle. Confirmation number two, you just whatever see up here, you just see that same color down here. Just do that. Whoever is in market in that direction. Okay, you said I'm breaking up. Hey, you guys said I'm breaking up. If I'm breaking up, 444. If I'm good, 111. All right, y'all said I'm good, so I'm gonna keep going. Okay, bet. All right, cool. So we got our blue candle, we got our blue volume bar, and if these things at the bottom, the best sign that you want to see is that this line, like this black line, this is the stochastic up here, this is the RSI down here. What you want to see is that this blue line, this black line is facing up, right? Whatever the line is doing, please don't overthink this, family, because it's very easy. Whatever the line is doing, that's what the market is doing. If the line is facing up, the market is going up. That's a confirmation for a buy. If the line is facing down, that's a confirmation for a sell, because it's visually reflecting that the market is going down. If the line is moving sideways, like let's just look right here, the line was moving sideways. What happened in the market? The market was also moving sideways. So everything that you're seeing is just a confirmation of what you initially see. You see the buyers in control? Bet. You see the buyers got power? Bet. You see the buyers have a lot of power, a lot of momentum. So now you know, okay, I can actually get in for this buy, right? I have the confirmations for the buy on this blue candle for Euro USD, but I'm not just going to go into MetaTrader 4 right now and put my trade in for a buy. What am I going to do, family? What time am I going to get into the trade? Since I'm analyzing on the 15. Yep, 1045. Exactly. Yep, we're gonna wait until 1045 to actually get into that trade. Now, a lot of people like thinking that this is similar to HFX. We would literally just go to our MetaTrader 4 app and get in right now, but that's not what you want to do. You want to get the confirmations on this candle, and you just want to be patient until the next 6 minutes and 55 seconds. And as soon as it turns 1045, that's when you can actually go into your MetaTrader 4 app and get into the trade. That'll be the confirmation that you need. So it's just always waiting until the next candle. You get the confirmation on one candle, you wait until the next candle. Now, let's just say we didn't have all the confirmations, right? Let's just say, because essentially we don't have all the confirmations because our SAR, right? And I like the way Elle described this yesterday. She said the SARs, which are these purple dots, right? They can represent a broken trend line, right? So if the candles are above the dots, that's telling you, that's another confirmation that price is high, right? I like to think about the candles as price. So when I'm looking at the candles, I'm not like candle is blue, buy. I'm just like, okay, the buyers are in control, right? And when I look at the dots, I'm not like parabolic SAR is under. I'm like, okay, the candles are above this, price must be above average, right? So I'm looking at the candle as price. I'm looking at the dots as average. So if I can clearly see that the candles are above the dots, what does that mean, family? If you was to read it, what I just said, if the candles are above the dots, what does that mean? Ooh, I lost the chat. Answer. Price is above average, right? Price is above average, right? You just want to read it as exactly what you're looking at and not as the technical thing that it is. So you don't want to be like blue candle under stars. Like you can do that, but it's easier to say, okay, I see that price is buying, but it's below average because the SAR has not switched. And that's why you wait, family, because with Forex, the more confirmations you have, the better. With HFX, you can kind of be a little bit more lenient simply because it's such a short time frame. But with these, it's like you want to be sure. So we're gonna wait for the next 5 minutes, and then we're gonna get in. So while we're waiting for that to happen, how do you actually know like how much money you're gonna make and how much you're going to risk, right? And that's where pips come in, right? If you are familiar, right, and you know how to count pips, right, drop pips in the chat. If you do not know how to calculate your pips and risk with Forex, drop a question mark in the chat. So pips if you know, question mark if you don't. Okay, we got a few people that knows about the pips and the dips. All right, awesome. So we're gonna go over that as well. And this is like one of my favorite parts. If you haven't watched your basics training on I Am Academy, like please do that because that is like really life-changing. So pretty much your pips stands for point in percentage, right? You guys can write that down. Pip stands for point in percentage, right? And it's just literally telling you, this is really about to turn into the whole basics. That's crazy. And it's really telling you like how far the market is going to go, right? And this is super, super, super important. It's how far the market is going to go, right? So if we look to the right side of the screen, can I make this any bigger? Probably. If we look to the right side of the screen, what we're going to see is that price is currently at 1.20619, right? And that's very important to note because if we were in HFX and we were going for a buy or something, we would say, okay, when the market gets to 600, we're including all three of those last digits in our calculations, right? We know if the market gets to 600, this is an example, you're going for a buy, we know that, right? But when it comes to Forex trading, it's a little bit different because the last digit actually does not count when you're counting Forex, right? The last digit does not count. The last digit does not count when you're calculating your points for Forex trades. It does not count, right? So let me just try to put this on the screen for y'all because this will literally mess you up a lot if you don't understand what's going on, right? So let's just say the market is currently at 1.20602, right? This is current market price. If you wanted to go up 10 pips, right? You're going to calculate your profit because your profit is based on, it's an equation, is pips times your risk. So first we need to understand how to count pips, right? With this is a 1, 2, 3, a 6-digit currency pair, but we'll get into that another day. We just want to look at this for what it is. Current market price is 1.20602. Now, if we wanted to go in for a buy and we estimated or assumed based on the confirmations that the market is going to go up 10 pips, right? Our TP for a buy would be 1.20702, right? Because we're completely ignoring the last digit and we're only counting this. We're only going up 10 pips from this, right? So we're going to ignore the first 3 and we're going to ignore the last 1. So if we wanted to go 10 ups, this is 10 pips for a buy, right? 10 pips for a buy. If that makes sense, family, drop a 111 in the chat. If it makes sense so far. Okay. Okay, awesome. Now I'm going to say if we were going for a sell, right, our TP for 10 pips would be 1.20502, right? That's 10 pips for a sell, right? Y'all with me so far? We don't count the last digit and we don't count the first three. We always going to count only count the last two digits before the last digit. Always. Unless you're doing Bitcoin, but we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about regular Forex pairs. This is for regular Forex pairs. Okay, cool. So family, if the entry price was 1.20602 and I wanted to go up 20 pips for a buy, what's my TP, family? From 1.20602, what's my TP? 20 points. Write the full thing. All right, 1.20802. Exactly, family. Exactly. That's very, like, that is so important because some people will be adding their pips to the last two digits and it's like, that's not helping you, fam. Like, yeah, it's going to be 802. And of course, if we wanted to go pips down for a sell, family, let's say we wanted to go 30 pips down from a sell from our current market price, 30 pip TP. What is our TP? Okay, thank you so much, Jackie. Thank you. Thank you. Exactly. 1.20302. Right? Now, this is important to know because how do you turn 10 cents to $50? Like, and that's where your pips come in. This is why this is important. So, all right. So we just going to go with the standard amount of pips is you typically don't want to OD. It's two ways you can do this. You can do standard 20 to 25 pips, right, for your TP. So let's just say we're going to do 25 pips for our TP1, right? TP1 means the market climbs to that point. Now, if it continues to climb, that's where TP2, TP3, and all these other things come in. So let's just say we're doing a 25-point TP for a buy. We know that we would get in. Oh, also, family, go to your MetaTrader 4 app and let's get in on Euro USD for a buy. Go to your MetaTrader 4 app. Don't worry about the TP or none of that nonsense. Just go to Euro USD and get in for a buy. Just get in for a buy. When you get in, drop a I'm in the chat. When you get in, right? Because we instantly in profit. Drop an I'm in the chat. I'm already in profit, family. Drop I'm in, and then when you are in profit, drop a blue face in the chat. Drop a blue face in the chat if you just got into that trade and you in profit for the buy. Yep. Right. I need some more blue faces in the chat because I know he's in profit right now. Yep. Euro USD. That's the only thing we've been talking about all day. All right, so your trade won't always start in profit, but it will move into profit, and we already know that. So this is your demo account. If you got into your live, that's at your own risk. You're not supposed to be doing that, but this trade is going to move back into profit. So we're going to close. Ashanti, don't track it by the cents. That literally makes no sense, and you're going to stress yourself out by doing that. We know that the market is going to move. Like, we know that the market is going to move, and the point is we want it to reach a certain point in the market, and that's why we're looking for a TP. It's not Forex trading. So everybody should be into that trade. Okay, bet. Let's just close our app. Don't look at it because we're still in a training. But I wanted you guys to see we have the confirmations for the buy. We got the blue candle. The SAR has finally flipped. We still have a blue volume bar, and both of our lines are facing up. Now we just have to put what is our TP? What is our TP? But we have to learn how to calculate the point so we can know how to go in and modify our trade, right? You really don't want to sit there and watch it. You're going to stress yourself out because now your trade is back in profit and you don't run your blood pressure up for no reason. It literally makes no sense. So we got into the market. We're going to do our live trade example. We got into the market I got in at 1.20624, right? That was my current entry price, family. Now, to find your entry price, and we are still in profit, to find your entry price, you're going to look at the trade that you got into, and directly under the currency pair is going to be a number. Drop your entry point in the chat, family. Mine's is 1.20624. Drop where you got into the trade at. Okay. 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 Bet, bet, bet. So family, based on, and this is how you calculate your own pips. That's why we have to go through this. Based on where you just got into the trade, right? Don't worry about the scanner because the scanner only told you, okay, it's okay to get in. Based on where you got into the trade, I want you to click on your trade in MetaTrader 4 app. You're going to click modify, and then you're going to set your TP 20 points above your own entry, right? You know how to calculate pips. So you're going to set your TP 20 points above your entry. So my TP is going to be 1.20824, right? So that's where I'm going to put for my TP. But we all have different entry points, which means that our TPs are going to be different. This is why some people get spiked out and some people hit stop loss, because everybody can't have the same entry. If you say, for example, they dropped a trade idea at 1032 because they knew that they wanted you to get into that trade at 1045, but you just got the signal in the signals chat. You just decided to get in, and now you're mad because your trade has stop loss. Well, guess what? Your entry point is not the same entry point that they used when they dropped it, because either you missed the trade idea, you was a little bit late, your phone was off, you didn't get in at that time. So now you have to be able to calculate your own pips and points, family. If that makes sense, drop a 777 in the chat. And let me change my TP to 1.20824. Amazing. Amazing. Yep, 20 pips, 20 pips. You can do whatever you want, but the standard is about 20 to 25 pips. And the thing, Ashanti, why you don't want to watch it is because versus HFX, where you know that if you don't clear right under or below that line within that 1 minute, you know you're not going to make money. But when you're doing this, you know for a fact it's going to take a minimum of 15 minutes for anything to happen, because we're analyzing on a 15-minute time frame. So it doesn't make sense to watch it, because you know that you're not waiting for 1 point. You're waiting for it to go up 20 points. And us doing HFX, we literally know how the market goes. It does this, it does this, it does this, it does this. It be wilding out. So for it to actually steadily increase and reach that 20 points, it may take some time. Hence why, if you're looking at it on the 15-minute, it's like, that's just pretty much how often the markets are scanned for new trade ideas. So now we literally have more confirmation in the last 15 minutes that this was going to keep buying, and that's exactly what it's going to do. And we have our TP as well. Now, cool. We know where we want to take profit at. Now, the other side of this is your stop loss, right? So we're all going to also put in our stop loss. So your stop loss should be the same thing, but in the opposite direction. So let's just say, again, my entry point was 1.20624. Remember your entry point, family. Remember your entry point. I'm going to put my entry point, because now we set our TP, right? If you're going for a buy, your TP is going to be however many pips in that direction. You're going for a buy, you need your TP to be higher, right? But then let's just say, because this happens all the time, family, if you ever got into a MetaTrader 4 trade and you've gotten spiked out, where, okay, you plugged in all the numbers from the chat, but you still took a SL or lost money, drop a 111 in the chat. Okay. And this could simply be because we weren't waiting to get into the trade at the right time, or we missed the entry point, or we were too close to SL when we got into the trade. So your stop loss is going to be, now, okay, you got in for a buy, but let's just say the market no longer wants to buy. The market now wants to go in a completely opposite direction. You need to have a stop loss, which means that if the market starts to go backwards, you just want to get out the trade automatically. Everything with MetaTrader 4, once you set it up, is automatic. So we set our TP, boom. The market is going to take us out as soon as it reaches our TP. Now your stop loss is going to be 20 points in the opposite direction. So my stop loss would be, I'm saying that if the market decides to go for a sell instead of a buy, if it gets too low, aka 1.20424, just take me out the market. I don't want to lose any money past 20 points, right? So you can set your stop loss in the same amount as you set your TP, or you can make it a little bit less, right? You can, like, if you want your TP to be 20 points, that means you're expecting a 20-point push up. That means you see a lot of momentum. You just think it's going to go 20 points. But if you think it's going to have the same momentum in the opposite direction, set 20 points as your stop loss. Or you can even do a 15-point stop loss or a 10-point stop loss, just so you're not losing that much money. Like, it's up to you. So my stop loss could be 1.20424, right? That's a 20 pip stop loss. my stop loss could be 1.20324, right? Oh no, I'm sorry, that's going down more. 524, right? That's a 10 pip stop loss. I typically do 10 pip stop losses because why would I want to lose money in the other direction? But when you're learning, like on other people just teach you different ways, you can do 20 pips or you can do 10 pips, right? So your TP is the trade is going this way. I wanted to hit this point. A stop loss is, I thought it was going to do this, but it kind of did this. And all of this is automatic. So if this makes sense, family, drop a 222 in the chat. If this is making sense. Okay, awesome. Awesome. So now that we have these numbers, I want everybody to go back and set. Where's my trade? I want everybody to go back and set a stop loss for the current Euro USD trade. And we are in profit. This is crazy, family. This is crazy. If you are in profit, can we drop a in profit in the chat? Right? Because I just turned 20 cents into $3, right? Can we drop an in profit in the chat? And tell me where our trade is about to smack TP. Right? Whenever you're using MetaTrader 4 and you see the green line pop up next to your trade, you know it's about to smack TP. If you see the green line pop up next to your trade, that means that you are 10 points from your TP. So feel free to get out. Hey, she just smacked TP. She just smacked TP. Live trading, live training. I love it. Mine's about to smack TP too, right? I just turned 20 cents into about to be $3, right? It's about to smack TP. So if you see that little green bar pop up, that means that you're 10 points within your TP. You can get out the trade or just let it go. If you see the red bar pop up next to it, that means you're 10 pips within your stop loss, and you could just either let it go because it always turn around, or you can feel free to exit the trade, right? If you see green, that means your trade is about to smack TP. Do not ever, and this is really a fact of life, family, or advice, do not ever get out of the trade. Do not get out of the trade. Do not get out of the trade until it takes you out automatically. Like until it hits TP or stop loss, do not get out of the trade, right? Yesterday I was in a Bitcoin trade and it was down in my live account. It was down $60, right? Why that same trade turn around to be up $120, right? Now, had I got out that trade to be like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. Like I just would have lost $60. Like that makes absolutely no sense. Like why take the time to analyze the chart and plug in your stop loss and TP if you're just going to give yourself a headache and keep checking the trade? That's literally like you tell yourself, I'm about to make a meatloaf in the oven. And every 10 minutes you keep trying to eat the meatloaf, knowing that the meatloaf not going to be done for 2 hours. Like it literally makes no sense. Or you trying to boil some pasta, but every 5 minutes you like, the noodle's still hard. I'm trying to eat my pasta. It's like, pasta takes 7 to 8 minutes to cook. Why are you still checking the pasta? Like it's the same thing when it comes to your trade. It's not going to smack. You can't stare at it and be like, smack, 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 clear. It literally makes no sense at all, right? So I just made a quick little $3, right? And let me just put this into perspective for my people who don't do Forex trading, you like HFX. If you make $6 a day, whether you're doing that with HFX or whether you're doing that with Forex, in 30 days, family, you will have enough to pay your monthly, right? $6 a day keeps the inactive status away. I just made $3, right? I just made $3. It's still going, actually. Mine didn't hit TP yet, but it's about to. I just made half of my monthly for the day. I only use MetaTrader 4 to make sure I'm making $6 a day. Like if I make $6 a day, I can pay my monthly. If I make $10 a day, that's $300 a month. We just made $3 in how many minutes? Now imagine you do this, you put in 3 or 4 trades, and now you made $12 a day. You really just made over $300 for the month if you do this every single day. Now, the last thing I'm gonna go over before we transition into the money mantra, right, is calculating your risk, like actually calculating your risk, because it's cool, right, to know how to count it, but how are you making your money, right? This shit is really about to smack TP. But anyway, your risk amount is based on your lot size. And this is the other part of the equation that's going to change your life. We know how to count pips. Cool. Ignore the last digit. Ignore whatever digits come before those last 2 before the last digit. Cool. We know if we're going 20 pips up, we add into that number. for TP. We know if we go in for our stop loss, it's going to be 10 to 20 points down. We understand that. Now, your risk is the second part of the equation for how do you make profit in Forex, right? And I'm just going to erase this, right? Because this is crazy important. So we still going to go by my entry point. We still going to have my TP right here. 1.20824. This is TP1, right? And then it's always different TPs because that's just saying that if the market continues to climb, and I'll just leave it here as an example, but I'm not going to actually enter a TP2. I'm just telling that if the market continues to climb, let's say it continues to climb and it wants to go to 1.20924, that's going to be my TP2 because the market already smacked TP1. So when you guys see in the chats TP1 smack, TP2 smack, it's like it reached that point and then it kept going. So this is just an example of where my TP1 and my TP2 is. Now your lot size, this is how lot sizes go. 0.01 is equals to 10 cents, right? 0.10 is equals to $1. 1.00 is equal to $10, right? Now that's hella important, family. That is so important. It don't even make sense how important that is, right? So if 0.01 is 10 cents, that means that we're risking 10 cents per pip, right? We're risking 10 cents per pip. Okay, and let me just put something next to this, right? Now, if I do I don't know what that's about. If I do 0.02, that's going to be 20 cents, right? So that must mean that 0.05 is equal to how much, family? 50 cents, right? And this is per pip. This is so, like, when I tell you guys this, tomorrow I might actually have to do like a actual MetaTrader 4 training because this is out of control. How when this actually clicked for me, because it took me months for this to click for me. When it clicked for me, I was like, I've missed on out. I will making so much money by not understanding what is going on, and that was just so whack to me. All right, so if 0.10 is $1, then 0.40 is going to be how many dollars? Jackie, it's not gonna be $40. We're not there yet. We're not big balling like you, Miss Jackie. All right, so it's gonna be $4, right? So of course, 0. And this is what you don't want to do, family, because we don't got that kind of money, right? Do not risk, and I'm gonna tell you guys, don't ever risk more than 0.05. Don't ever risk more than 0.05. Like, just don't do it unless you have $200 account. Don't risk more than 50 cents. Like, it just makes no sense at all. So this is going to be $8. And of course, we got our standard lot. So this one is called micro lot. These down here are called mini lots. And this, I'm telling you, this is important information. We'll get started with the money mantra soon, but this is important. And then this is a standard lot. So if 1.00 is $10, how much is 3.00? All right. All right. We know that, family. We know that. So cool. So now the equation to actually figure out how much money you're going to make is you want to do your pips, right? However many pips you calculated times your lot size value. Okay. So if we're doing 0.10, that's 10 cents per pip, and we're 20 pips, how much money can we make from that trade? If we're doing 0.10, which is 10 cents per pip times 20 pips, how much can we make in that trade? Okay. $2, exactly, family. $2. We know we're going to make about $2, right? Exactly. Now let's just say we're doing a 0.03 lot size, right? A 0.03 lot size, which is 30 cents for 20 pips. How much money can we make in that trade, family? 30 cents. Okay, yep, it would be $6. it'd be $6 because we're doing 30 cents, right? 30 cents times 0.30, 30 cents times 20 pips, $6. Nah, Jackie, you only need one equation. You need your lot size value times your pips. That's all you need. Lot size value times pips. Now, okay, we saw that somebody on this same trade, the person that risks 10 cents is going to make $2. The person that risk 30 cents is going to make $6. Now, tell me about the person who uses a 2.0 lot size, family. 2.0 lot size for 20 pips. How much money are they making? 2.0 lot size times 20 pips. Yep, exactly. Yes, family. Yes. Right? So this same trade where somebody made $2, somebody made $40, right? So this is why it's important to know what your account can handle. Obviously, if you have a bigger account, you can risk higher amounts, which means that you can make more per pip. You may not even need to go 20 pips. If you got a big account size, you can risk, if you have a big account size, you can risk $10. Let's say you risk a standard lot size, $10 per pip, and you only want the market to move 5 pips, right? You literally just made 10 times 5. You just made $50 in a short amount of time because of your risk and your pips. So based on how big your account is, this will determine, like, do I need to stay in this trade longer? Do I need to stay in this trade shorter? Can I risk a little bit more? If this is making sense, family, and this is easy, drop a 333 in the chat. Okay. Because it really is that easy. Once you find your entry point, right? Once you find your entry point, then you calculate your TP. Then you calculate your stop loss, right? You calculate your TP, you calculate your stop loss, then you calculate your risk, right? You like, all right, bet this market looking like it's moving up with hella momentum. I know for a fact it's going to hit 20 pips, right? Because typically if you use certain strategies like scanner sauce, they're designed to actually no questions asked to hit 25 pips. Like no questions asked, you're hitting 25 pips. So if you know, especially with the GBP pairs, you guys should definitely look into this more, watch some videos. But if you know, I'm gonna ask you one last equation just to make sure that we all get it, right? So let's just say we got our strategy up here. We know we're doing 25 pips, and we're gonna use a 30-cent lot size, right? How much money are we gonna win or lose in that trade? 30 cents per pip, 25 pips. All right, okay. And family, I did that specific number to tell you that you can get into one solid trade a day with a 30-cent risk, right? And you can make enough money to cover your daily for the day, right? We know we only need $6 a day, $6 a day for 30 days. You telling me, I'm telling you that you can get into one trade, right? Risking 30 cents to make $7.50 every day. Now, mind you, you can do this as much times as you want throughout the day, as long as you're not risking over 10% of your entire account. And all right, this is the last question for real. So let's just say your account is $100. Let's say your account is $100 and you should not risk more than 10% of your account in one day. What's the highest amount you can risk all day with a $100 account? All right, now that we know that, no, Samir, the highest you can risk is $10. All right, did we or did we not just make $7.50 from 30 cents? You can risk $10. You only risk 30 cents. You can risk $10. You only risk 30 cents. Are y'all following me, family? Are y'all getting what I'm saying about multiplying this money? Like, you can risk $10. You only risk 30 cents, right? Because people over leverage, which it makes no sense to me. Like, I literally can't understand it. Like, if you know you could turn 10 cents to anything other than 10 cents, like, it's just crazy to me. So awesome. No. That's a good lot size, but if you only risking 10 cents, you got hella more trades you can get into. You can get into hella trades to flip your account. But yeah, that's just something to be mindful of. You're only risking cents to make dollars. If you can risk $10 and you're risking 30 cents, bet. If you can risk $1, you know that if you risk $1 in the trade and you can risk $10 for the day and you expecting 25 pips, you still just made $25 off of $1, like without over leveraging. I really need us to understand that, family, because I feel like a lot of us are intimidated by Forex. We think it's hard. I don't really know, but it's super easy, right? And I'm gonna have to do a MetaTrader 4 training because you can be doing this on the go. Like, do your setup on your MetaTrader 4 app, just log in, be on the go, and it's just cool. So, all right, we about to, this is recorded. So let me actually stop recording so we can get into the money mantra. It's about to be 11:11. Y'all know that's what time we start. But if you guys, right, if your trade is in profit on MetaTrader 4, right, drop some blue faces in the chat, right? If your trade smack TP, right? If your trade smack TP, drop some money bags in the chat, right? I need blue faces if you in profit. I need some money bags if you smack TP. Mine's about to take profit right now. It got 3 points. All right, so we got 1 TP smack. We got some people in profit. All right, TP smack. I did 10 pips, not in TP yet. Okay, in profit. Okay, this is good. This is good. Y'all making money while learning. This is the epitome of learn and earn. This is the epitome of Christopher Terry need to give me a check. But all right, family. We are going to get started with the live HFX trading. Did I stop recording this yet? Oh no, let me stop recording.